You're tuned to KSJE, Farmington, New Mexico, 90.9 FM. And now 103.3 FM, K277CR, Durango, Colorado.
We have a 911. Armed robbery in progress. See surplus store, corner Peoples Drive, North 24th Street.
Hi, welcome to CopShop. I'm Nicole Brown. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Farmington Police Department. And the chief is not with me today. He had another meeting to go to because things are crazy. Things are busy right now. But the lovely and amazing Georgette Allen is joining me today.
Hi. Thanks for having me on. I'm over here like
I know I'm doing the same
watch party and it starts. I'm like, oh no, it's
I'm
loud.
doing the same thing. It's okay.
So anyway, well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
I appreciate
thanks for coming.
Do some updates. It was kind of cool. So this morning, I was hoping to have a leisurely morning, but that doesn't happen when you do what we do for a living. So.
Yes.
But I was working from the front room this morning, and I could hear violins playing outside. I'm like, where is this coming from? It was loud. I could hear them. So I walk outside, and it's so cute. So our little elderly neighbor lives like down the street from us. I walk out there and I'm assuming it was her grandkids, and they weren't close to, like, they were distancing, and they were all out there playing the violin for her as she sat on the porch and listened, and it was so cute. I know, it was precious. So
that's
whoever
amazing.
that was, shout out, kudos. I'm terrible. I don't know my neighbor. She lives down the road, but anyway, shout out to whoever was doing that this morning,
That's a
because
great
I
idea.
enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, we actually had someone message the police department page about everyone on the cul-de-sac, like sitting at the end of the driveway and watching a musician play, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great time. And you're
Yeah.
socially distancing. That sounds amazing. Do it.
Please do. Yeah, I need some positive stuff. So
It's good. It's hard with the physical distancing. I'm very consciously trying to call it physical distancing.
Yeah.
Because I think that we can still be very social. We don't have to socially
Absolutely.
distance.
Absolutely, especially with all the technology. Although it's harder, some of the generations who don't use it. My mom's one of those. My mom's 74 years old. She has a cell phone, but it's an old school flip phone. She doesn't do any kind of internet, anything. She doesn't even text. So, we can't, video chat or whatever. And she typically comes over every Sunday after she works out. She goes to the gym like 6 days a week. She's amazing at
That is
74.
amazing.
I know. I hope I'm like that too. But she always comes over on Sundays after her workout to have coffee, and we chit chat, and we can't do that anymore. So now what I do, and she doesn't have anybody over there, at least Greg and I have each other at home, and
Yeah.
and so I'll drive up in my vehicle and roll the window down. I call her before, and she'll stand on her porch, and we'll like yell at each other just so we can see each other.
Yeah, no, my grandparents are kind of the same way. Luckily, they're, they live within walking distance. So we just like walk, and we sit on one side of the back porch, and they sit on the other side of the back porch. And we
Aw.
visit, and yeah, it's tough. It's hard, but I would, I couldn't forgive myself if we gave it to them.
Oh yeah,
It
absolutely,
would be terrible.
absolutely. So.
What do you got going on in the city?
Oh, what don't we have going on in the city? So, of course, we want to put out reminders about the social distancing or the physical distancing. I like that better. One of the big things wanted to emphasize today, it's, you walk outside right now, the weather's getting warm, and we're hitting the weekend, and it's Easter weekend, and it's so warm out. To me, it feels really weird that this is going on because like the flu season, stuff like that happens, in the wintertime. It's cold, it's...
Yeah, and you're almost inclined to like stay in and not be out.
Exactly.
And about, yeah.
And you walk outside and it seems so weird that this is going on. So we just wanted to remind people, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss the fact that this is, still something that we're dealing with right now and a threat. And I think sometimes, people get outside and they forget about it or think, whatever, but it's important, and it's particularly important. We want to preserve our outdoor spaces so people can continue to benefit from them, because we do benefit from them physically and for our mental well-being. And so it's important people are being responsible when they're going out and using our parks and our trails. Lake is still open. There's no swimming motorized motorcraft. Excuse me. They do have the campsite is open, but it's limited to 25% occupancy. So we want to remind people there, again, that's going to be a really easy place for people to gather and start congregating. But remember, please don't do that. Limit, 5 and under. And truly, it should be the people who are in your household, so not calling up the friends and family or whatever, hey, let's all go meet here and get together. So we have to make sure we're using these spaces responsibly so that we can continue to keep them open and utilize them for the benefit of our
Definitely, because there's a lot of bigger cities that have had to close like their play structures or their parks in general because people just aren't doing that. They aren't using that physical distancing.
Exactly.
And we've been really fortunate to, everyone's been doing okay and been thinking about those rules, so we can still have them open right now, but it is something that we don't want to lose. So, and it is so nice outside. And
it is,
so
and I think you get out
tempting
there
to just
and
get
you
out
forget
there.
about it. You do. You get, it's like, it's outside, no worries, no cares. It doesn't matter out here, but it still matters. Remember, we needed that physical distancing. And again, we're protecting those ones like we were talking about this morning, those vulnerable people, in a certain age category or the immunocompromised. The more of us that are out there and getting exposed, then we're, exposing others and our loved ones. And we certainly don't want to do that. So,
yeah. And I was just kind of reading the news this morning. Several different articles were talking about how the numbers are starting to reflect that we are starting to flatten the curve. So physical distancing is working. So we
have to keep doing it. Yeah.
We got to hang in. It's starting to work. We've got to keep doing it because it is going to make things better.
It is. And it's so tough just for, just like our culture here too, we're talking about the handshakes and how many people are huggers and, you greet, so, everybody has their special way you greet and we can't do that now. It's, now it's the, ooh, air hug.
Yeah.
Air hug.
We all
Don't
kind
touch
of look
me.
silly. We're all,
Yeah.
hi.
So, I think for the most part, I think our community is doing a pretty good job. You see, of course, what we do for a living, we get, complaints, people sending stuff in, hey, people not complying and stuff. But I think overall, going out, driving around, I mean, it's kind of spooky. You don't see a whole lot, the stuff is
The
closed.
traffic
and
is,
traffic is
significantly lighter, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And the stores closing and stuff. So I think overall people are doing a good job, but we need to continue to encourage the ones who are still, don't take your whole family to the store. If you have to go out to get essentials, make sure you're just sending one person because again, everybody's getting exposed there. And then, who else are they exposing at home or whatever? So making sure that's the one person, get your essentials, get out of there. And now CDC is recommending people wearing cloth face coverings. And I say that rather than masks because you say the masks and people are thinking the N95s or, the ones that are specifically medical grade, medical quality. And we want to keep those for first responders, for our doctors, nurses, police even, and making sure, people at home are using something that I call it community grade, but, something that you can fashion in your home. We've put stuff out there on the city's page. It's on emergency management's page, which again, we're encouraging everybody, making sure you're following that page, going to that website for information. But you can fashion them pretty easily out of whatever at home. So
yeah, I've done a bandana. That's what I use.
Nice.
It's all neon colors. It's really, really fashionable.
Did you bedazzle it?
Yeah, I should have.
We ordered a few from, I think it's pretty cool, been watching, and I'm sure businesses nationwide are doing this, but how they're kind of reinventing themselves. So we've got a couple of businesses here that are, they're changing in their manufacturing ones, not just, the medical profession can buy them, but the community can buy them as well. So I jumped online and bought a few. I'm waiting for ours to come in. And
Oh, nice.
It's kind of cool to watch how people are reinventing their business and
It really is.
and how they can help.
It's a tough time right now for small businesses, which they're, putting out loans and stuff. We've both been sharing stuff on that on our pages, but just that, being flexible in your business model, really understanding what your purpose is for your community and I saw that one of the restaurants, I believe in Aztec, is doing kind of like almost groceries, because their supply chain is different than the grocery store supply chain. So I thought that was a really unique way to still be in business and help the community, and I thought it was a great idea.
I saw the local used bookstore, Amy's Bookshelf, how she because she was, I think, deemed a non-essential store, and so she kind of revamped and was putting together pandemic packs. And I saw it because I think Daily Times covered it or something. It popped up in my feed. So pandemic packs, and started doing those online, shipping them out, and you can either, pick what genre of books you want, or she'll do it almost like a grab bag for books. And I thought it was so cool for $5. And in the story, it said she had customers clear back east, like people in New York and stuff. And I thought it said, if I remember correctly, she had more customers outside of the community, and it just kind of took off.
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I heard her, she was on Scott's show the other morning. She called in and was talking about it. That's where I heard about it.
Okay.
And I thought it was, what a great idea.
Yeah.
It was
Pretty genius. So
yeah, $5 is a good deal for $3, I think.
there you go. Scott, kind of going.
We always try to drag you in, Scott. I have to. Chief's not here to do it. I have to do it. That's the way it
We'll
goes.
be nice to you, though, Scott.
You are always
we won't.
nice to me.
We won't tease you like the chief does. So what else? What do you?
Small business stuff. I know that loan stuff they can go through the college, correct?
Absolutely. So the Small Business Development Center. So we're pushing everybody to call there. Go to their website, visit. So they have a list of what's available out there, but there's a lot to get through, and so if the Small Business Center can help with that. So we did a live Facebook yesterday, and there was representatives from the SBDC, from local lenders. Who am I missing? Oh, the city. Warren was on there, Warren Unziger. So they kind of gave an overview, and we allowed there was question and answer. We had about 60 people on the Facebook Live, and so it was great. So there was interest out there from businesses, quite a few questions. But again, you can tell from the questions and just the information. I was trying to listen to some of it, but I'm paying attention, trying to get questions and stuff, where it can be very confusing. But it's imperative that businesses get this done quick, because as I understand, it's a first come, first serve basis.
Oh yeah.
And the stuff, I think, is changing so rapidly too. So it's good that we have that resource here at the college for businesses to reach out. And
Definitely, because we, just as a community, want them to make it through this.
Absolutely. We want our businesses to. Oh, and then there's another campaign from the state of New Mexico. So it's Buy for Tomorrow Today campaign. And so businesses can list on their page. It's for small businesses. And so they encourage citizens to go on there and purchase a gift card today, which keeps the money flowing for the businesses, and then they'll use it later on, or give it away as a gift or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I saw, so we have a few of our local businesses listed, so we're trying to push that information out and encouraging them to get registered for that campaign as well.
Definitely.
And so I even saw one, I don't know if she was offering gift cards, but she had her link right there that you could just jump on and buy products and stuff, and she'd ship off to it. So I think that's great that the state is doing other things to help promote local businesses.
Yeah, try to keep the economy moving a little bit before it all kind of
absolutely. So
locks down, because it doesn't. I mean, I know that it's helping that we're doing the stay-at-home order and all this stuff to flatten the curve, but we're still. I mean, our numbers are still rising. We we're projected to kind of have our big wave in the county this week, right? And we did, for sure.
Yeah, we absolutely did. So locally, because statewide, I think, were they anticipating a little bit later, but yeah, here locally in San Juan County, I think the hospital, the doctor was on, was it last week or something, saying, in the next 2 weeks. And so it did seem to, have a jump, so. Yeah,
for sure. We're thinking about everybody that's going through it, and we're hoping everyone else will stay home so they don't have to go through it. But on a lighter note, the police department, we did a birthday parade.
I saw that. That's so cool.
It was a great idea. The family called us and just asked if we would do it, and then it turned out to be much bigger than we thought. It was
so
going
how
to be,
old, what girl, boy? I didn't.
her name was Lizzie. It was a girl,
Okay.
and she was turning 3.
Aw.
So she was so cute too. She had her little pink sign that said "Birthday Girl," and everybody that drove by and said "Happy Birthday, Lizzie," she said "Thank you." She was so cute.
Sweet.
But we really enjoyed doing it, and we had some people kind of ask, "Would you be willing to do more of these?" And so I think Day Shift did another one today.
Okay.
And anyone that's interested, just message us on the department Facebook, and we will look into it. You know, it of course depends on call volume. If it's really, really busy, we're not going to have anybody to go.
Yeah,
but we'll
absolutely.
definitely give them a shout out on social media if we can. So that we can do pretty easily, and find somebody to tell them happy birthday and send them a birthday message from the police department. But it's something we can do right now. You know, because of social distancing, kids can't have big birthday parties. Bums me out because birthday parties are so fun.
I know, right? So so they can still have them. They're doing them in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's, whether it's the virtual or what. I saw a school or some teachers or something locally had done something like that. The same thing. They did a parade for a kid, and I don't know exactly. I was kind of like just zipping through my feed
we've
pretty
had a
quick.
few. I think Ladera, McKinley, Country Club, Mesa Verde. Yeah, they've all done parades. My kids go to country clubs, so I was kind of I Facebook lived their parade because they came by our house. But it's really cool, and the kids, I mean, that made their week. They were so
exciting for 'em,
excited
yeah.
to see their teachers and make a sign, and yeah, so it's cool. We're still being social while physical
Just
distancing.
in a different way.
It
Yeah.
is. It's different. It is strange. I do have to say that, but
It is
it's
very
good.
strange.
Still heartwarming.
It is. And it's amazing to see how the community comes together, like I said, or they're so creative. There are so many groups right now out there making masks for the healthcare workers. It's just amazing. And they even had, was it the Senior Center in Aztec? Bloomfield? I can't remember. One of them. Bloomfield, thank you. We're also making masks. And I was like, oh, that is so cool.
It's
Like every
amazing.
generation is getting in on it.
And they're efficient. Like, I mean,
they're cranking out masks
somebody
fast.
said something about officers, which the officers have masks, the N95 masks, but our like civilian employees didn't, and they just like all of a sudden we had masks. Like they brought them right away. They were really efficient. It was amazing.
That's incredible.
That's cool.
Wonderful. Oh, and thinking of ways to help, actually, let's put this out there. So in the beginning of this, we started getting questions about, hey, I want to help. Where can I help? But that traditional volunteering you can't, necessarily do because of the social distancing and stuff. And so the city and the college and United Way all partnered to establish, and really I got to give a shout out to Rhonda Schaefer up here at the college and her team and Liesel Dees pulling this together. So they have the Want to Help line. So if you want to help and you want to know what needs the community has right now, different nonprofits and stuff, because they're changing, you can call the 566-4210. Oh, Scott's got it up. I think that's what you were doing. I saw your arm waving over there, something out of the, I don't know what he's doing over there. So you can call, and again, it changes. So we started out by reaching out to the nonprofits here and asking, what are your current needs? And then so Liesel and her team are regularly contacting them and finding out, hey, has this changed? What do you guys need now? Because we certainly didn't want to establish this and then have nothing for people or send them somewhere and, they get frustrated because they want to help, but that wasn't necessarily an area that could be helped, or they get turned away or whatever. And so we thought it was important that we all keep in contact with the nonprofits and establish that. And it's also on our website as well, on the city's website. We have like the spreadsheet. It's the fmtn.org. But really, it's just easy to call Monday through Friday. 8 to 5, and you can ask what's available out there. So, like, one of the things is blood right now.
Yeah, they do.
Because they're not doing,
donors.
the mobile that they usually do for donations and stuff, all the events, but they're still needing blood because and this was a few weeks ago, so this number is probably off. So, but at the time, it was like 40% down the blood supply.
Oh, man, yeah.
And so we remember, not only do we have, the coronavirus going on, but we still have other stuff that happens. People are sick with other things and need blood, or car accidents or whatever. So it was important not to just completely shift our focus to, we've got this crisis on, but don't forget we have these other things that happen as well. So
yeah, no, definitely. And all of this coronavirus stuff I'm not, like I've said before in the show, I'm not an anxious person, but it gives me a little bit of anxiety to think there's so much that's unknown and we're learning new things every day. And so a lot of times helping someone else kind of alleviates that sense of anxiety. Yeah. So if you are feeling that way, that's a great resource to call and find some way that you can help. You can be active, you can do something that makes you feel like you have a little more power over this strange situation.
We're getting our 4-minute mark over there. So on the flip side of that, we know there's a lot of people right now who are out of work or losing hours, and so they're going to be needing help.
Yeah.
And so on the other side, and this is actually all the time, this resource is out there. So San Juan United Way has what's called the helpline, and they've had it for years. So you can just dial 211 from your phone if you're local. I've had some out-of-town people calling on behalf of other people as well, asking for resources. And so that number, 505-326-HELP. You're calling from another area. But they have a list of resources that are available in the community. And, I think they keep track of like who has funding and stuff like that, because, that stuff fluctuates and sometimes, runs out. So they do have that. And again, you can just call 211 here in San Juan County, and they can get you to some resources.
And that's super easy to remember. And
yeah.
And help identify needs, because that is important too, because we are kind of, this is so strange, and it's, you don't know if you have never been in this situation where to go for help. So that's a super great resource.
Exactly. And I feel like there's probably going to be people who maybe have never been in that situation before, like you said, finding themselves, having to ask for help and unfamiliar with,
how to navigate
it. And it's, scary.
And the people who, with United Way, they are so dedicated and they are amazing. So
absolutely.
It'll get you through. So I think that's it for our show. Thank
you
so much.
Fast.
I know, it went by so fast.
Thanks for having me.
It was a lot of information that we were just kind of doling out. Huh?
It was a lot. So
thanks for coming on, and we will see you next time.
All right.
.9 FM, KSJE Farmington is now listener supported. Keep the programs you love by joining us today at ksje.com/support.